and it's time for another anime time with Soresan. Yo, what is up, Crockxen clan members, anime fans, and others who saw on this video? I'm SoresanCrockxen, and today we are back with another anime time with your host, Soresan. So this series ended last week, but because of personal reasons, I was not able to make the review at that moment in time. But today we're going to be covering Log Horizon Season 2, which ended last week. Literally last week, because today's Saturday, so yeah. But anyways, let's get started, shall we? So the story. Now, Log Horizon Season 2 has 3 plot lines that it goes through, right? It has 3 sections that it goes through. The first one involves them needing money. They're broke. The guild hall is expensive as hell, and they don't have the funds to keep constantly paying for it. And because there's no bank system in the game, they can't really do loans. So they're kind of in a bad position. So Shiroi decides to go and do a raid mission with the people from it was Silver Sword and a bunch of people from Maihama was the name of the place, is where they were in the first season, like the first arc that was dedicated that place, okay? And so he goes in secret, and he goes with Natsugu, and they go over there. The people in Akihabara are gonna have a festival for winter, winter, basically Christmas stuff. And so they're gonna go over there, and they're gonna go to like this underground place, which is supposed to house where all the gold from the world comes from. Basically, it's like a giant pool that spawns the gold that then gets transferred to the monsters that when you kill you get. That's basically how it works. So they're gonna go in there, and the whole plan is to literally just break in and get the gold, or at least that's what we assume. So they go over there. Some crazy shit happens, and then on the festival side, one of the suits is one of the guardian suits, the ones that come in when you try to PvP in a non-PvP area, gets stolen by a person of the land, and then basically becomes practically invincible, and they have to like kill it and stuff like that. And they end up shutting down the power of the magic barrier that protects the city, which would then cause the suit, the armors, to break down, and then they beat them. And over here, they were able to, like, Shiroi literally return the gold to the place, because that was his whole goal. He was just going to do that. The second one, which involves Minori, Toya, Izuzu, Rundel, and Serra, all the kid characters. They're going to go on an adventure to basically get the quest that gives you the magic bag, which allows you to hold more items. This quest was actually created by Shiroi, so we know for a fact he can create quests. And so they go on a quest. They have to kill wyverns. So they go on their adventure. They meet certain, different characters. We meet Shiroi's other character, which is, we'll talk about her in a bit. But she's a summoner. Then they get to a town, and they start seeing these soldiers. There are adventurers. These are soldiers who have like an instant cathedral that they carry with them. So basically, if they die, they instantly go there and they're revived, which makes them go crazy. Like they're literally insane. They don't care about anything. They just want to die. That's literally the whole point. They just want to die. And so the city gets attacked by the wyverns. Like there's just a huge flock of wyverns show up and just start attacking them. And these soldiers don't care, so they're like getting killed, right? They're trying to die. Toya tries to convince one of the generals, be like, "Hey, dude, what the fuck is wrong with you?" To no avail. Roy too, which is the other Shiroi's other character, basically helps him do really well. Izuzu actually played a song for everybody. They've been doing they were doing small contests up to that point, but she decides to like create a new song for the world. There's only like 42 songs, I think is what it is, which is the soundtrack of the game. And she's gonna add the newest song into the world, and it was beautiful. It was beautiful to try to fix everything. And then the third arc, which involved Roa 2 sending a message to Shiroe, we find out how these, because we see these creatures, these people who are not normal. Basically, they're avatars of other characters that are basically blank. There's nobody in them because their subconscious is in the character they're using. Shiroe is in Shiroe, and Roa 2 was basically just an empty body. These alien creatures from another world in this universe of the game are looking for a new home. And they need these particles, which is what feeds them. So they're searching. But they come in two groups, the hunters and the scavengers. You have Roa 2's version is the one that's supposed to scout the world to make sure if the source is there. But if there's living creatures, if there's beings that already exist in this world, they report back and tell them we can't be here because there's already a life form that exists here. They're doing their own thing. We can't come in here and take over, which means they're a peaceful race. Unfortunately, the hunters didn't get that memo, and they came in and attacked anyways. So now it was like a strive to fix everything and communicate with the moon, because that's where the aliens were stationed. And that's literally where when you die, that's where you show up and then you come back. It became another raid of this tower that communicates to the moon, because they're trying to get home. That's how Broad 2 basically said, communicate with us over there. We might have a chance to get you guys home. And then it ended like that. After they beat the boss, it ends there, which prompts season 3, I hope. Now the animation in anime, it's practically the same as before. I think it looks a little bit better. The characters all got new outfits. They've all leveled up, so they look different. We got some new characters that were showing up and stuff like that. So it was really intriguing to see all that stuff. It looks great. The soundtrack has never been better. Like, I love the soundtrack of Log Horizon. The opening was still the same, which I didn't really mind because I love that song so much. And yeah, it looked great and it sounded great, so I really didn't have a problem with it. Now for the character section, I'm not gonna go too deep with the characters that we already know from past season, like Shiroe, Katsuki, Natsuku, all the main characters that we've already grown accustomed to. I'm not gonna talk about them. I'm going to talk a little bit about maybe one or two new characters. I do want to talk a little bit about Roa 2 because she is an interesting character. She is basically what starts this whole rally of, hey, we are a different species that are basically invading the planet. Like we're not going to attack anybody. But we get to see the two sides of the species. You have these people, which are usually just there to check the place out. They're there to see if they can find the food source and if there's no life forms here. And then you have the opposite, which are actual assholes. These people are just rude. Okay, like legit. See, there was a guy that was trying to seduce random girls in Akihabara, and I was like, it was the weirdest thing in the world. Like he wasn't succeeding, so he like brainwashed them. Like he literally put them under a spell when they didn't work because he just wasn't. He was kind of one of those clingy characters. Or like he looked good, like he looked like a nice looking man, you know, but his personality was so awkward that it just didn't click with anybody. So he was forced to like hypnotize people, which just showed there was another character that was just causing chaos for the fuck of it. These hunters are assholes, like straight up. I gosh damn them. And I do want there was a running gag with this character named Tetra, who is hilarious. She's one of my favorite characters just because of he's a troll. He's a guy that literally looks like he has a girl avatar. He has big pink hair, and he basically acts like an idol character, like like the idols, like singing those. He literally just struck. He teases Natsuko so freaking much. It's hilarious. The funny thing is, everybody else knows it's a guy except for Natsuko. And when we like he's with Marielle now, right? They're kind of like a thing. She can't. She doesn't understand that Tetra's a guy, so she has this jealousy of this whole thing. It was the funniest thing ever, and because of the way he is, the way he acts, he just pops out of Natsuko's armor at random moments. And the funny thing is, like I said, everybody else knows he's a guy, right? When like it was Rundel, Isuzu, and like Minori were like, or no, not Minori, Toya. They were like wondering, like, because Natsuko doesn't know, and so like they want to say that it's a guy, but they don't know like if they should call him like his name with like a male suffix or like a female suffix, and they're confused. And so like they like he sneaks up behind them, and they're like, what do we call you? Because I don't know, like if we need to call you like Tetra, with like the male suffix or like what. And he's like, what are you talking about? My name is Tetra Chan. And just tries, and like she says it in the most serious, or he says it in the most serious tone. And his face was just like, you better not screw this over. Okay, I'm here having fun. Shut up. It was the funniest thing ever. Oh my goodness, like Tetra for the win, like straight up. He was hilarious. I still sometimes say it's a girl by accident because it just doesn't act like it. Oh my goodness, it was funny. Now the final episode of this show, yes, the final episode involved them beating the final raid boss at this new place. Now this doesn't conclude the story. They're still stuck in there. They're really right now they stopped the war with Minami because like that one chick, I don't remember her name yet because I probably should, which is bad. Then again, I think that's the whole point of her character. Nobody knows who she is. She's being manipulated. So it's like they almost went to war because of the people of the land of Minami wanted to come to the east and take over because it was originally their land or something like that. It was really weird. But that will stop, but they still need to communicate. Now, the thing that was interesting about the final episode is that Shiroi communicated with that one girl that has been showing up since like the first season, but we never actually see her because it's all in flashbacks or in the openings. It's in the opening of the first season. She's the girl that had like the big ass bamboo hat and like was like the leader of the tea. I think she was the leader of the tea party. She shows up in the second season for a little bit, and then like so they communicate. She's in a different server. They're in the Japan server. She's in China. And the thing is, Krusty got sent over there because of this weird portal thing that showed up out of nowhere, which actually ended up taking his assistant's arm, so he like has it in like a sling. It's really weird. It's the weirdest thing ever. But he's stuck in China now, and so so now they know that this is not just a Japan thing. The other different parts of the world are now stuck in this world as well. So they have to like fix everything. They captured the tower that communicates. That's how they were able to talk to her in the first place. But they need to find a way to communicate with the moon so they can talk to the alien people so they can work out a plan, get everything fixed. And I can't wait for season 3, which is right now not confirmed, but it's definitely confirmed. It's just they need more material. That's all it is. They need more material and they're done. So, Log Horizon Season 2 has a very special place in my heart. I watched the first season 3 times, like straight up. And I am going to rewatch Season 2 again because I really love this show. I really love this series. As a whole, it feels it's a continuation. They all have separate little plot lines, but they all tie in together at the end of the day. For example, the money thing at the very beginning of the series instigated, them expanding in the world. They were able to fix their relationships with the people at Maima, and Krusty disappeared essentially. So now the round table is like in this weird spot. Then it would transition from them knowing about the moon, coming back, the little kids going on their own adventure, meeting Roy too, which then led to the hey, I'm your other body, learning about these other species, and then learning, hey, we need to communicate with the moon up there, and then having a connection with the fact that we know that there's multiple servers that are up. So we have China and Japan confirmed. I'm gonna assume like America and like all this other stuff is also happening, but because there's a character in that one chick's group who is from America. I don't know why the fuck he's in China, but the point is he's from America. He's an American guy. So it's really interesting how the series is really coming up to this point. And honestly, like I said for the first season, this is definitely a must finish season. You must, if you're gonna start it, you have to finish it to the very end, because it's literally just a continuation from season 1 all the way down. They've literally been stuck in this place for around a whole year, and they're still getting used to the world. Like, there's people who are like freaking depressed because it's been so long. They're just still stuck there. So it's definitely a must-finish show. I love it, and I know for a fact that if you actually give it the time, you will love it too. But anyways, guys, that is just my opinion. I will leave a link in the description where you guys can watch it on Crunchyroll. It should be up for free right now. Like, if you don't have a premium account, I think you'll be able to watch most of the episodes, if not all of them, at this point, or at least by the time you catch up to it. It should be completely over and done with. So I'll leave a link in the description. Go check that out. And while you're down there, drop a like, comment, join the Crockxen clan. If you want to support me, Patreon account is down there as well. Free and stuff. That is if you want. You don't have to do that. Share the video, post it out all over freaking Twitter, Facebook. Tell your neighbors, tell your friends, tell your dog, tell your cat, tell everybody. And I hope you guys enjoy this anime time. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm SoresanCrockxen, been your host, and I'll see you guys in future videos.